Today guys, I'm going to teach you Inertia Drift, and for today's episode I've picked the stock A86. We don't even need a drift car guys. This is a very awesome technique usually used on the togeys. So today again I'm on the drift track and I'm gonna use the small corners. We can even try the long one, see how this car will handle, but I think it's very low horsepower to even make it. So what is Inertia Drift and why do we do it? So before we jump into the driving showcase, let me explain and maybe answer the question that you have in your head. It's very similar to feint entry, however in the feint entry you're going to utilize clutch kicks to enter drift, while here we're going to utilize braking and just shifting the weight from the rear towards the front to break loose on the rear and enter drift. So what is happening in a nutshell? Very quickly, we go towards the middle or the inside of the corner, we flick the wheel towards the left, slam on the brake, and then what happens is the weight from the rear shift towards the front axle and the rear wheels are losing grip. Then we break loose and we're entering drift. Then as we want to do a transition, because we're now looking on the opposite side and we want to look towards the corner, we're going to lift off the brake and this will immediately shift the car to look towards the corner and we're already entering the corner. And then we immediately get back on the throttle and we also apply counter steering changes if needed. Then we go through the whole corner with throttle and we exit drift and we have taken the corner and we have done the inertia drift. So without further ado, let's go ahead and I'll show you how it's done. Alright guys, we're going towards the corner, stay on the middle, flick, lift off, slam on the brake, back on the throttle, and we do the inertia drift and we modulate and apply the counter steering changes, and this is how we do the inertia drift and go through the corner. Obviously, if the car has enough horsepower, you can definitely make a bit bigger angle, but this is up to you to experiment, test the car and figure out. Okay, one final showcase. Again, we go towards the middle or inside, flick, slam on the brake, we break loose, we counter steer and modulate the throttle, and we do the inertia drift, and there you have it guys. Very clean, very smooth, nice and simple. And literally, we're doing this with the stock car. And this is why guys, you see me using this technique non-stop on my bone stock challenges, because this helps me keep the momentum and I don't have to do handbrakes and stuff like that non-stop. I can just use the momentum, shifting the weight towards left and right and being full throttle if possible, and that's how you make the stock cars go and keep going. Now I know what you guys want to see is me taking a sharp corner so you can see how it kind of looks on a toge when you're trying to use this technique. It's just the same guys, you're taking the corner and you just keep the momentum going, you flick, brake, brakes loose, then you enter drift, and then you go immediately after the transition back on the throttle, full throttle, and apply the counter steering changes that you need to maintain the drift. But obviously, you know all this if you have watched my previous videos. We've talked about maintaining, catching the drift, initiating and so on. So if you enjoyed this episode guys, please like the video, let me know what you think in the comments down below. If you enjoy the content out here, subscribe, I'll really appreciate it. Check out my second channel, fun clips, compilations. Check out my Patreon, tunes, graphic mods, whatever you can think of, take a look at it. And for now, wish you all the best and we'll see you in the next video.